Oh, man, the gloves are off now. The gloves are off in the MKP, and it's a tag team match between Team Duduzile and Ndlela and Dr. Hlophe and Colin Makhubele. You know, sometimes when you are a leader, you need to stand your ground, and nonsense should be just called nonsense. If something is nonsensical, you need to stand your ground. That is leadership. If you ask me now from where I'm sitting, that is leadership. Dr. Hlophe stood his ground and clarified all the nonsense that was coming through so many directions. And now it was causing a lot of confusion towards the members of the party, the MKP, and also us, people like us who are watching, who are spectators, that what exactly is happening. And now he has clarified that Ndlela has been removed as the deputy whip from the whippery position, pushed out. He's actually doing exactly what Floyd was doing, but I'm worried, man, that they will push him out. You know, they are definitely going to do something, because remember, Duduzile is on Ndlela's side, and Ndlela wanted to say, I didn't receive the letter, the signature. Why the signature is not authentic? Why do you have to lie on a public television? Why do you lie? I mean, Dr. Hlophe has just confirmed that the letter is directly from his office, and he stands his ground. You know, that is the kind of leadership we want, that these people who are ill-disciplined, sort them out before they become rotten potatoes and they rot the whole. You know, Ndlela is moving too fast, and he wants to be the Secretary General. He's chasing, you know, he's becoming too confident. He's becoming a mini Floyd. And if you move at that rate, you're bound to fail. You're bound to commit a lot of mistakes. Don't follow someone like Duduzile, because that is her father's political party. She will never be out of fashion. She will never be pushed out. She will never be disciplined. But you, Ndlela, can be disciplined. So don't become too comfortable. Don't become too confident. I think Ndlela is also trying to kind of work his way up to becoming the deputy, because when you look at the guy, he sees himself as the deputy president to the MKP. He's seeing himself as the second in command. Don't be over too confident. In life, it's good to be confident, but if you become too confident, now you're becoming full of yourself and you're running a risk of destroying everything. So Dr. Hlophe made it clear that no, there's no such. Colin will stay. Secondly, he is the one who issued the letter. Let's watch this.
When the changes were made, unfortunately, we went through a situation whereby we had to terminate the whippery status of Commander Nhlamulo Ndlhela. He was a deputy whip, remember, and no longer a whip. We decided to terminate that for the reasons that were given to him. There is a letter that was written by my office on the 23rd of June 2025, which was formally handed to him, right, in terms of which his whippery status as a deputy whip, in terms of which that was terminated. There were reasons clearly articulated in that letter. Following that, obviously, it meant he was no longer part of the whippery, because whenever we meet as a whippery, it's always myself, the chief whips, the deputy chief whip, and all other deputy whips. So a group of about 18 or 19 altogether. The result of terminating that meant he was no longer going to attend those meetings. He rocked up at a meeting and said he did not get the letter. His case was that he did not receive the letter terminating his membership as a whipper. The chief whip immediately said at that meeting, if you did not receive the letter, We will give you the letter after the meeting. After that, he came to me and raised the issue that he did not receive the letter. I said to him, we can't talk about the letter that you say you have not even received. Once you receive the letter, we may have a discussion along those lines. But also interesting, at that point, his defense or his excuse was he has not received the letter. He doesn't know what we're talking about. Alternatively, that his removal must be sanctioned by the president of Umkhonto weSizwe, which is clearly not the position. All along the changes that have taken place, the president of Umkhonto weSizwe was never involved. When it became clear that Commander Ndlhela has in fact received the letter, his story changed. The letter is not authentic in as much as it's my electronic signature which appears on the letter, right? Now, it is important to say his stance initially was that he did not receive the letter. When it became abundantly clear that he has now received the letter, he changed to saying, no, this is not the signature of the parliamentary leader. If anything, this has been forged.
Exactly what I'm talking about. That if you have not received the letter, why do you want to engage? What is it that you want to discuss? Because we should be discussing on the basis of the content of the letter that you have actually received. You have gone through it, you understand the contents, or maybe you have got some questions or queries about the letter. But for him to just rock up like a rock star, you know, people like Ndlela and Duduzile, Zuma, they think they are running the show. They think they can control everyone in the MKP. Here you are talking to a former judge. So you'll never lie to him. You'll never deceive him. You'll never outsmart him. No, he's a very well-experienced judge. That we cannot take away from Dr. Hlophe. And Colleen is also a leader. When you're looking at her, is someone who's brave, someone who, by the looks, can take very unpopular decisions. So it has been clarified that Ndlela has been removed in the whippery position. He insisted, he lied on a public television. What should happen now? The MKP should discipline him for lying and misleading the people of this country. Do you still want to be in parliament when you lie publicly, knowing very well that that is not true? I'm shocked. No.
Any MP is brought to me because I'm ultimately responsible. There is no letter, there is no petition in terms of which MPs are calling for the head of the chief whip. This is a figment of someone's imagination, quite frankly. I would have been the first person to receive that petition. Obviously, if the petition is against me, I wouldn't expect MPs to give it to me. They would probably give it to the chief whip, who would in turn forward it to the president, who is sitting in Nkandla comfortably now. So the suggestion that there is a letter here, that there is a petition here against the chief whip is quite frankly nonsense. It is nonsense. There is no such. I have not received it. As a matter of fact, I asked Ubaba as late as last night to President Zuma. There is no such letter. Colleen Makhubele remains a chief whip here. She is very good. She is very effective.
You know, here Dr. Hlophe is actually stamping his authority. You know, sometimes when you are a leader and people want to undermine you, I know the pain of being a leader and your subordinates or people who are below your position tries to undermine you and tries to undermine your work, your experience, your expertise and everything. Dr. Hlophe is not a politician, but he is a well-experienced judge, and I think he can handle such matters of this nature very, very exceptionally well. So you stamp your authority, you do confirmation, you verify. He verified even a night before with President Jacob Zuma. And he said, there's no letter that was written about taking out the chief whip, complaining about her, that she makes decisions on her own accord. Sorry, she doesn't consult. Those are just fantasy and fallacy. That's just people who are actually daydreaming, and he is actually, Dr. Hlophe is actually crushing those people who are actually planning to build this narrative that the chief whip calling Makhubele is not fit. You know, they want to push it to that point. We know politics, that she's not fit, she must be removed. I don't know why MKP has got a culture of promoting in order to fire people. You promote someone so that you fire them. That's just, it's unhealthy for the party. A 1-year-old party changing secretary generals just like that, and always wanting chaos. And people who are causing chaos in the MKP, these are the two contenders. People who are causing chaos in the MKP is Ndlhela and Duduzile. It shows now that Ndlhela and Duduzile are the ones. You know, Ndlhela has developed an attitude of becoming full of himself and thinking that he's the most trusted loyalist in the Zuma family, so nothing will happen to them. Let's see what will happen. Will they discipline him for lying on a public television? I don't know. We wait to see. I'll see you next time, squatters. Thank you for watching my content. And those who have not subscribed, please subscribe. Let's get this going sharp. See you next time.